words are so arbitrary in a lot of ways. I'm going to give an example of something else, and then I'm going to come back to what you said. Okay. One example I like to give people is like what is good enough for women in this century versus women 200 years ago? What does good enough look like? So I want to kind of show you how arbitrary a lot of these expectations and norms are in society, to set that as a framework for where we go to what you're talking about. Now, I also want to say that I have clients who've told me that they have subconscious, I'm not, this has nothing to do with you, by the way. This is random stuff I'm putting to expand the vantage point, basically. Okay, so I have had clients tell me that they've gained weight subconsciously or on purpose so that they would not get attention from the opposite sex because it felt safe. Okay, I've had people tell me all sorts of reasons why things happened, like maybe they had a stressful year and they gained weight. And so I'm hearing this, and I think we should break this up into two separate ones. Okay, so you said I am fat and I look awful. Is that right? Let's just do the first. Okay, so you're saying I am fat. Okay, so it's something where I'm hearing I am fat, which by the way is open to interpretation, obviously. Okay, and then I'm also hearing and that is bad. So notice that. Okay, so what we want to do is get creative to start loosening up the certainty of statements like that. Okay, so I'll give some examples. Okay, so it could be that some people, if they've gained weight, it becomes an opportunity for them to start evaluating, like, you know, is this the health I want to be in as I'm getting older? Is there something I can do? Is this an opportunity for self-care? Is this, you know, you've mentioned before feeling over responsible. Is this something where I may have neglected my self-care and my body is giving me a biofeedback, a message in such a way to help me? Is this to help me so that I can start to get more in alignment with my consciousness and what's in my highest good? And that body is my barometer for if I'm in alignment with loving myself, caring for myself. How does that feel for you so far? I'm also hearing like, I am fat and that means something about me. That means that I failed, or I wasn't good enough, or I didn't, you know, do what I was supposed to do, or what should have happened, or the way it was supposed to be, or what everyone says it should be like. How does that sound? I think I could cry myself too. And tell me why it makes you cry. There we go. So if I am fat, then people won't like me. Not that that's true, but that's the belief we're talking about here. If I'm fat, then it means that I won't have connection with others. Is that what you're feeling? Notice that sentiment. I'm sick of having to try to fix myself. Do you know how much wisdom is in that? It's like, I don't want to keep thinking something's deficient about me, and I don't want to have to keep waiting to love myself. I don't want to have to conditionally love myself. I have to just wait till I'm a certain size and then I can deem myself okay. And obviously your body and your higher self are demanding for you to love yourself, because it's not opting for this fixing option. You're frozen in it because something's off about it. It's not out of love that I want to make sure I'm taking care of myself and only eating foods that when I eat them, I feel good and they don't hurt my stomach or they don't cause me pain, or it's like a no, something's wrong. It's based on a premise. So the I am fat thing is based on a premise, something's wrong with me. And that's the opposite of the self-love, right? It doesn't mean, oh, you should be a certain way now and forever. It's not saying that either. What it's saying is, hey, this is showing up as an opportunity to love yourself. And maybe as you do, maybe you won't be frozen and things turn out in a way that, you know, happens to be in alignment with what your mind wants. Notice I said mind. Only the mind cares if we're thin or fat. The real you is not your body. Impossible. It's not your body. When we die, our body stays here. And where do we go? We go somewhere. You're not this body. So then there's the other aspect. I am fat and this is who I am. And this means something about me and all the identity stuff. And this means that I won't be able to connect with people because other people have been conditioned that being fat is bad. And, you know, what if you're here to heal all that shame around form? So body image, we are not form. We are nothing we can look at. I'm not my body. I'm not anything. I'm not what anyone thinks of me. Thoughts or form. I'm not any of these things. So what if I'm here in a body that's larger than I want it to be for the higher purpose of knowing who I really am? What could be more beautiful? It also shows me how much you love yourself, that you are like, you know what, this ends now. I want to see how I can be free of this limiting thought because I deserve love. That's what I perceived the question as. What do you feel like you need in this moment? Absolutely. And if you want, we could always come back. Like maybe if you need to, close it and mute and cry, we could always come back to the second part if you'd like later, because I have some other stuff for that too. I think different people interface with the world in different ways. I don't interface like visually the way that maybe some people would, nor do I think that there's anything wrong with your appearance. I'm going to so in order to disprove a thought, I have to entertain it for a moment, right? For me, I perceive people's energy, like their emotional energy, and that's where I get attracted to people via that. I don't care about form or things like those things. I mean, there are parts of my ego that still do. I'm not like totally, but I recognize the illusory nature of that, the temporary nature that I know when I'm 60, I'm going to have aged, and there's going to be things that I have to come to terms with that, right? I wonder if people are, judging a person because they've gone through life and they've lived and felt the ups and downs of life, and the body has taken some of that burden, because that's what bodies are designed to do. I wonder if those people are afraid of aging, if they're afraid of pain, if they're afraid of a belief that we've all been conditioned to, that if I look a certain way, then I won't have connection in my life. When people judge us, it's 100% about themselves, that they have a problem. It has nothing to do with us. I don't think they're looking at me in such a superficial way, and that's on them if they are, because they're missing out on the warmth and the connection and all the things we could have if we don't reduce human beings to ridiculous, superficial, temporary, illusory qualities that are not even who we actually are. And so I just want to, highlight the word awful, the super subjective word. Like for me, I lost my mom when I was young. And so when I meet women of your age, like I instantly feel like this like warmth. And you would have never known that had I not told you that. And I just feel like, oh my gosh, I love connecting with women your age. I have so many friends that are women your age because it's something I've always done, And so I'm trying to disprove now this belief that because I look a certain way, I won't have connection. I love connecting with you. Even right now, it's beautiful to connect with you, and your worth is not limited to these things that are not who you are and don't define you in any way.